Okinawa, Japan, 1986. A young Daniel LaRusso is told by Mr. Miyagi about an ancestor of his who was taken in during a storm by the Han family, who taught kung fu. Mr. Miyagi describes the union of his family's karate and the Han family's kung fu as two branches, one tree. Beijing, China, present day. Mr. Han is the shifu of a school for kung fu. His niece Dr. Fong arrives to inform Mr. Han that she is moving with her son Li to New York City for a new job. Despite Mr. Han's protests, Dr. Fong wants Li to grow up away from fighting after losing his older brother Bo the year before. Upon arriving in New York, Li goes around his neighborhood to explore. He goes to the nearby pizzeria and makes the mistake of ordering stuffed crust, getting him mocked by the shop's owner, Victor Lapani. His daughter Mia defends Li and gives him the pizza that they do have, and she directs him to the nearest bodega. After school, Li finds Mia and helps her with supplies outside the shop. She guides him around the area so he can become more familiar, but Mia gets uncomfortable when they pass a dojo, and she sees her ex, Connor Day. Connor's sensei, O'Shea, reminds Mia that her dad owes him money. While the two hang out later on, Mia's scooter breaks down, so she and Li have to take the subway. They are found by Connor and his goons on there, and he approaches Mia with intent to get her back. After Li comes to Mia's defense, Connor gets him with a sucker punch to the eye.
Heads up!
Lee! Connor!
Mia apologizes for this and admits that she only ever dated Connor because she knew her dad didn't want her to. Victor helps cover up the black eye. But Lena's mom quickly discovers it and reminds him not to fight. Lai later starts seeing a student tutor, Alan, to improve his calculus skills. Later during the day, he is antagonized by Connor yet again. Leonard remembers some of his kung fu training under Bo and attempts to utilize it during a fight. But Connor anticipates his every move and is able to aggressively counter it, knocking Li down until teachers have to break it up. Connor challenges Li to enter the Five Boroughs tournament that he always wins. At night, Li goes to try and fix Mia's scooter, but he sees 3 of O'Shea's goons coming with baseball bats to collect their money from Victor. Li goes to his defense and uses his skills against the thugs. After a brief brawl, the goons are eventually left running scared. Victor brings Li into the pizzeria to thank him for helping him, but he admits that he could use some help. Victor used to be a boxer until Mia came along, and he asks Li for help in sharpening up his skills. Li speaks to Mr. Hanover training Victor, which he encourages. Mia catches Li and Victor training, which upsets her since the pizza shop is already struggling without the threat of O'Shea's goons. After several rigorous training exercises, Li tells Victor why he stopped fighting. The year before, Bo had won a tournament, but his opponent took the loss personally and assaulted Bo along with his friends. One of them pulled a knife on him, and Ledov felt too helpless to do anything, so he blames himself for Bo's death. Ledov continues studying with Alan. They later go to the San Gennaro festival, where Ledov sees Mia hanging out with Connor and laughing. He assumes she is back with him and starts to get distant from Mia. Ledov and Mia later join Victor at his boxing match against one of O'Shea's goons. Mia confronts Ledov for his change in attitude, and he mentions seeing her and Connor together. Mia explains that Connor wanted to get back together, but she made it clear to him that they are done for good because she has started developing feelings for Lei. During the match, Victor appears to display some skills he learned from Lei and nearly wins, but O'Shea has his goon illegally use his elbow and then knock Victor out cold. He is taken to the hospital where Lynn's mom works, but when Mia needs him to join her inside, Lee is too frozen by memories of watching what happened with Lynn. Mia ends up angry with Lynn. Mr. Han tries to reach out to Lynn, but he avoids his phone calls. Eventually, Mr. Tan makes his way to New York and surprises Lynn by breaking into his apartment and attacking him. Lin and Dr. Fong see Mr. Han, and he later accompanies Lin to visit Victor at the hospital. He says he is considering just moving the pizza shop elsewhere, not to give up, but to move on. Mr. Han then tells Lee that he is going to compete in the 5 Boroughs tournament and that he will train Lee for it. Mr. Han then goes to California to find Daniel in his home. He tells Daniel that he personally knew Mr. Miyagi and stayed with him for a while, hearing stories about his time with Daniel. Mr. Han requests Daniel's help in training Lee by utilizing Mr. Miyagi's method of karate. Daniel is reluctant, but Mr. Han knows he will see Daniel in New York. Alan lends Lee his rooftop garden that he can train on. Mr. Han joins Lee there to work on his kung fu skills. Daniel eventually shows up and starts to show Lee how to incorporate karate into his training. They also try to find a way for Lee to trick Connor, since he will be expecting some of his same moves. But Daniel encourages Lee to set a trap by using his earlier dragon kick that got him knocked down, except he will dodge Connor's attack and find an opening to sweep the leg from the ground. In between the training, Lee is still getting ignored by Mia until Alan helps him out. He gets Mia to go to the rooftop, where Lee has set up a nice evening for them, and she comes to forgive him. The day of the 5 boroughs arrives. Lee and Connor take out each of their opponents until they get closer to the finals.
Dude, what a head kick!
O'Shea's goons attempt to take Lee out of the tournament by ganging up on him, but Mr. Han and Daniel come to his defense. Mr. Han also tries to encourage Lee's mum to show up and support her son, despite her fears over him competing. A week later, the final match between Liz and Connor arrives, with them facing off on a rooftop. Dr. Fong shows up and joins Victor, Mia, and Alan to support Liz. Connor takes the lead at first until Liz overcomes his fears and begins to use both his senses training to start getting some points in.
Blocked by Fong, and here comes the Fong!
Liz takes the lead at 7 points, but Connor eventually catches up and comes close to knocking Liz out. But he gets back on his feet in time. With 1 point left to determine the winner, Lee goes for the dragon kick and uses Daniel and Mr. Han's advice to dodge Connor's counterattack, and he successfully takes Connor down, making Lee the new champion. Connor takes it like a sore loser and tries to attack Lee with his back turned, but Lee pins him to the floor and lands his fist next to Connor's head instead of striking him. Connor relents and bows to his opponent, and everyone cheers for Lee. He and Mia also kiss before he is lifted into the air like a champion. Before the credits roll, we see that Lee's victory in the 5 boroughs has allowed Victor to not only pay off O'Shea, but also to open a second pizzeria location. Lee sends Daniel a pie all the way back to California, along with a thank you note. Daniel shares the pie with his former rival turned best friend, Johnny Lawrence. Johnny thinks it's weird to send a pizza from Brooklyn to California, but then he starts to try to convince Daniel to open up their own pizza place called Miyagi-Do, which Daniel is not a fan of.